Hey, this is Dave with the Purple Bookshelf, and I'm going to review a very small book in page size, but it's big in what it can do. So, this is Principles of Personal Defense by Jeff Cooper, one of the very first books that I ever got when I started getting into self-reliance and personal responsibility and how weapons and guns and stuff entered into that. So basically, this book is just kind of Cooper talking, several different chapters, but they're principles. And his first principle would be alertness. Talking about the Cooper color codes, talking about decisiveness. When it's time to act, when you've decided to act, you need to act decisively. Then the next principle talks about aggressiveness, speed, coolness, ruthlessness, and surprise. Not a lot of pictures. I mean, he's got different, animal pictures to represent what he's talking about. So the chapter is speed, it's got a cheetah. In the picture of aggressiveness, it's got a grizzly bear, right? And it's basically just him talking, about what he's talking about. Like Principle 6, and I'll kind of read a little bit from the book. But Principle 6 is ruthlessness. It says, anyone who willfully and maliciously attacks another without sufficient cause deserves no consideration. While both moral and legal precepts enjoin us against so-called overreaction, we are fully justified in valuing the life and person of an intended victim more highly than the life of a pernicious assailant. The attacker must be stopped at once and completely. Just who he is, why he has chosen to be a criminal, his social background, his ideological and psychological motivation, and the extent of injury he incurs as a result of his acts may all be considered at some future date. Now, your first concern is to stay alive. Let your attacker worry about his life. Don't hold back. Strike no more after he is incapable of further action, but see that he is stopped. That's just kind of, talk a lot about in the gun class, talk a lot about on the Tea and Gun site about mindset. And that's basically what this is. It's Cooper's mindset boiled down into, 50 pages or so, 44 pages. And like I said, it's well worth the reading, well worth the time. It's the kind of book that you read and then you think about, and then you read again, and then you think about, right? And I think if you're going to carry a gun for self-defense or keep a gun in your home for self-defense, you really need to think about some of the concepts that he talks about and decide for yourself if they're worthwhile. All right? I appreciate it. Until next time, you can always get us online, www.purplebookshelf.com.